Come, let us savor tantric chanting and effortless meditation. But you know what? I think I'm going to edit that. I think it would be better if instead I'm going to go back to button 2. Let's go back over here. And then meditate like a Jedi. Let's see if that fits. It appears to. And as they say on TV, cowabunga. Make sure that this is, aha, not button 9 is the one I want to tap. As a preliminary, the first preliminary practice to meditating like a Jedi would be experiencing the sensation of the Force kissing us on top of the head. The easiest way to do that is not through faith nor visualization, but by merely chanting the 6 syllables, Lama come to pay crown. Together. Lama come to pay crown. Lama come to pay crown. Lama come to pay crown. Our first set of our first practice of mindfulness and meditation I've trouble conjugating the verb. Our first exercise of meditating like a Jedi. As we feel air enter our nostrils, we silently and mentally we can recite the word watch. As we feel air exit our nostrils, silently and mentally we can recite the verb rest. It could be helpful to rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. You are not in this alone. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy or meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window, for I tend to check for questions about every 5 minutes or so. The second preliminary practice to meditating like a Jedi is to ironically harness our own latent self-centeredness as a tool to gently and passively contemplate the wisdom of letting go. I'm going to start with an introductory, this is a tough word for me to pronounce, introductory chant. If you want to chant with me, I'm going to join me on the clock app. Rather than indulge our controlling tendencies with all follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors for statements literal, and instead relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. Let us bring our experience of the circumstantial into the path of the wisdom of letting go. All circumstances, all lots appearing at void could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could telepathically absorb into this body or form. We now reduce that which we just chanted to a 6-syllable synopsis, silently and mentally reciting the first half as we breathe in and the second half as we breathe out. We now bring our experience of the interpersonal into the path of the wisdom of letting go. All about, oopsie, I misspoke. Let's try this again. Let's bring our experience of the physical into the path of the wisdom of letting go. All bodies or forms sensual yet void could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could telepathically absorb into this communication or speech. To silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis of that which I just chanted, all forms melt into speech. Now let us bring our experience of the interpersonal into the paths of impermanence and interdependence. All interpersonal communication or speech resounding in void could be as impermanent and interdependent as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could telepathically absorb into this mind. Silently and mentally we recite the 6-syllable synopsis of that which was just chanted. All speech melts into mind. At last we bring our experience of the mental into the path of impermanence and interdependence. All lucid perceiving, emoting, intending, thinking, recalling, and imagining minds. Lucid yet void could be as impermanent and interdependent. As if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into a vast empty void. Whoopsie. There we go. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel not graspable to the hand. So I want to, for future live streams, I want to remind myself that this is the exercise where at last we explore the definition of emptiness. Let us silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis of that which was just chanted. All minds melt into void. Mindfulness is just a fancy way of saying watching vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, fleetingly watching mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination, regardless of whatever our experience is, be it external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. Meditation is simply resting in the fleeting experience of the non-graspability of that which we just noticed. Therefore, the most efficient way for us to meditate like a Jedi is for us to silently and mentally recite the verb watch every time we feel air enter our nostrils, and for us to silently and mentally recite the verb rest every time we feel air exit our nostrils. The third preliminary practice to meditating like a Jedi could be experiencing the sensation of the Force giving us a great big hug. The easiest way to do that requires neither faith nor visualization. All we got to do is chant the 6 syllables, Lama, blend with this mind. 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 We come now to our third practice of meditating like a Jedi. So as we feel our chest swell with breath, silently and mentally we could recite the verb watch. As we feel our chest sink with exhalation, silently and mentally we could recite the verb rest. Woof. You might find it helpful to rest the great knuckle at the base of your right middle finger upon the tip of your left middle finger, palms up in your lap. Why, thank you, Shrunti. And if I mispronounce your name, I apologize. So, I applaud you for asking questions. What we're going to do right now is perform the fourth preparatory practice for to meditate like a Jedi. This could be described as, so let's take a moment to chant an explanation of this 10-syllable mantra. If you're watching on the clock app and you want to chant along with me, it'll be easiest if you join me on the Tube app. Here we go. O Mama Tara, the swift and courageous, with Tutara you drive away all fears. Heroine with today fulfilling all aims with Soha, may all be as beneficial as you. So whether real or imagined, we use Tara as an archetype. How are we like Tara? Simple. Our circumstances are appearing yet not graspable. Our bodies are sensual yet not graspable. Our relationships, our experience of the interpersonal is resounding yet not graspable, and our minds are lucid yet not graspable, just like the archetype of Tara. So rather real or imagined, that's what we're doing. We're just using mantra and words to train the neural pathways responsible for empathy. Let us begin by bringing our experience of the mental into the path of love. This is known as the second fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Together, let us chant. May all minds of all beings now be as joyfully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha, symbolized by a bija, one syllable seed mantra, tamotic lay drop. The 6-syllable, so silently and mentally we could repeat the 6-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. Bija wise for all minds. We come now to this morning's first of 4 mantra meditations. During our inhalation, silently and mentally, we recite all 6 syllables of the loving wish. During our exhalation, we physically relax as best we can while striving to chant the 10-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. A nickname for this practice would be love and letting go. The love is that which is guided by that 6-syllable synopsis, and letting go is guided by our physical relaxation as we exhale. Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa, Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa, Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa, Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa. If this is your first time chanting with me, give yourself permission to have a learning curve. And of course, the easiest way to do this, to follow along, not just audioly, but visually, is on the Tube app. Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa, Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa, Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa, Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa. Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa, Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Sowa, Om Om Tare Du Nani Nuri Sawa. 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 Now let us bring our experience of the interpersonal into the path of love. We shall begin with a chant of exposition. May all relationships, communication, all speech of all beings know be as peacefully loving as a real or imagined Buddhist speech or communication symbolized by this horizontal 10-syllable mantra. Now let us silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis of that which was just chanted. Mantra love for all speech. Now for our second practice of love and letting go. As we breathe in, silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis in its entirety, our 6-syllable loving wish. As we exhale, we can physically relax as best we can while striving to chant the 10-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Tare Du Nani Nuri Sawa. 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 Let us chant an elaborate, loving wish that is focused on bringing our experience of the physical into the path of love. And may all bodies or forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health depicted in Buddhist statuary of the blissful body of a Devi or Yadam, an archetype of enlightenment such as Green Tara. Silently and mentally, we could recite the 6-syllable synopsis of that which was just chanted, Yadam, health for all forms. The easiest way for us to train in physical love and letting go is for us to silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis as we breathe in, and for us to physically relax as best we can as we strive to chant the 10-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Tare Nare Nure Sawa, 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 Om Tare Nare Nure Sawa. Om Tare Nare Nure Sawa, 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 Om Tare Nare Nure Sawa. Let us chant the elaborate wish to bring our experience of the circumstantial into the path of love, which is the 5th fold of the Buddha's 8-fold path. May all circumstances, all lots of all beings now have the safety, good fortune, all boon. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise per land of Avanti. We can divide the 6-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted between our inhalation and our exhalation. Vati boon for all lots. So we're not trying to work magic. We're not trying to be Gandalf the Grey. We're simply using words to exercise our neural pathways that support empathy. The easiest way for us to bring for us to practice the union of love and letting go is for us to silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis, the 6-syllable loving wish as we breathe in, and for us to physically relax as best we can while striving to chant the 10-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Tare Nare Nure Sawa, 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 Om Tare Nare Nure Sawa. Om Tare Nare Nure Sawa, 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 Om Tare Nare Nure Sawa. One of the fringe benefits of meditating like a Jedi is that it causes our choices and utterances and deeds to flow from love's centered spontaneity. This effortless effort is the 6th fold of the Buddha's 8-fold path. Remember, mindfulness is simply let's try this again. Mindfulness is vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly watching mind's antics, be they, or I should say, watching all manner of phenomena, be it external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. Meditation is simply resting as we exhale in such a manner that causes that which we noticed during our previous inhalation to feel a little bit less stressful, less permanent, less defining, less solid, less graspable. So together let us sit and breathe and watch and rest. Meditating like a Jedi could be described as the practice of awareness and letting go. In our compassion may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of ever. Hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism may our liberation of all others be fueled by following the Buddha's example, applying his instructions, and cooperating with his students. Metaphorically known as the three wish-fulfilling jewels. Having sat for the better part of an hour, we could find it refreshing to conversationally recite the 8-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. May we free all through the three jewels, while performing what I like to describe as spooky squat thrusts. This is optional, but it really is fun. It's a full body workout. Oi, oi, oi. All right, let's separate our heels, shoulder width, weight on our heels. Okay, weight on our heels, half squat. May we. Full heel squat, free all. Weight on the balls of our feet, through the three jewels. Okay. May we free all through the three jewels. May we free all through the three jewels. Let's do some rowing. Left hand, right shin, right hand, left shin. Let us conclude by chanting the wishes for the preservation of the Buddha's teachings. May each meditation teacher truly understand the Buddha's teachings and practice master as well as teach him generously, lovingly, and wisely in the manner of centered spontaneity. May each meditation teacher spontaneously receive. Generous patrons, enthusiastic students, as well as devoted apprentices. And thus may many Dharma centers be successfully planted, nurtured, and flourish. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's brunch recitation as well as effortless meditation. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.